Thank you for listening to today's public service announcement. Stand by.
I want to explain why the U.S. women's national team sued U.S. Soccer for sexist wage discrimination. Now, there are two reasons. One, they are the most dominant force in women's soccer history. Two, they're f***ing idiots. I'm not here to bash women. Hope Solo has done that enough. I just want to clarify what's going on. The U.S. men's team, if you can even call them men, has an incentive-based contract. They only get paid when they play. And by play, I mean get their shit pushed in by the third world. The U.S. women's team was offered a similar incentive-based contract. They turned it down. The women demanded guaranteed money instead. Then they went out and pillaged more foreign women than the Vikings and won another World Cup. So they did the math and realized they would have made more money if they had taken the original incentive-based contract. So they sued to change their contract and receive back pay for all the games they've already played. Obviously, the judge thought this was ridiculous and threw the case out immediately. You can't sue someone for giving you the contract you asked for. You also can't call someone sexist for giving you the contract you asked for. If you asked for a sexist contract, U.S. Soccer isn't oppressing you. You're oppressing you. Now, I understand it's shocking that women would break an agreement just because they're in a position to benefit financially, but that's exactly what happened here.
Hey, ready for our date? You just look too beautiful to be out with an ugly guy like me. Mind if we listen to some music? Okay. Okay, we're here. I'm gonna go get our food. I got us some fine dining. How do you like your subs? Let me stop, I'm too crazy. You don't like the surprise? Can't do anything right! Hey, I noticed you got olives on your sub. My ex-girlfriend loved olives. That is until she broke my heart. No more Subway for you, Rebecca! Hey, can you be honest? Do you think I'm a monster? So, did you have a good time? Where are you going? Where are you going?
Oh, shit. Oh, hey, sweetheart. I didn't know you was already at home. How was work?
Oh, hey, baby. Work was long as hell today.
How long?
It was like 3 hours. I was like, damn, how long can he go?
Was it good?
It was good and all. I mean, it's always good.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Send your best man, you gon' lose your best hitter. What the fuck is that? Send your best man, you gon' lose your best hitter. What the fuck is that?
Here's the deal. For all of human history, there was an objective standard between male and female. It was, for nearly all of human history, out of partial ignorance and partially because this is usually true, it was out of simply looking at people's genitals and assessing them based on their outward appearance, right? Which is still true for nearly all human beings on planet Earth at all times, okay?
Can't really describe someone without secondary sex characteristics and gender them into something.
Well, I mean, you can based on primary sex characteristics if you can see their genitals. Doctors do this literally at birth all the time, right? So this is, but your point is correct. If somebody was male dressed as a female and I misgendered them and then they said, oh, look, I'm male, zip, right, then I would say correct. And then correct, I would say, for all of human history, you were male. Now the standard is chromosomal, right? It's the SRNY gene and all of this. There is some objective standard, in other words, by which we can determine sex. The problem I have with the transgender argument is that people are arguing that there is no objective standard, that no objective standard exists by which I can determine sex. And in fact, sex is completely subjective. I can determine my own gender based on no biology and, in fact, in abeyance of biology. I can have every single biological characteristic of a male, and if I say I am female, then I am female. This is anti-scientific nonsense. Yes, Caitlyn Jenner had every biological characteristic of a male. There's no evidence whatsoever that Caitlyn Jenner was a female, because Caitlyn Jenner was an Olympic athlete as a male, with all of the chromosomes and all of the junk and all of it, right? That is it. That is a biological male. And then we are supposed to believe that Caitlyn Jenner is a female. Listen, I'm happy to call Caitlyn Jenner Caitlyn, because people can legally change their name. If I were out to dinner with Caitlyn Jenner, I wouldn't go out of my way to say Caitlyn Jenner is a he, because why would I want to have a bad dinner with somebody? But if I'm speaking in public with folks, and I'm talking about the presence of sex, there's not a biologist worth their salt on planet Earth who would say that sex does not exist. Yeah, I agree. So if sex exists, then what are the characteristics of sex? And the problem with biological anti-realism or scientific anti-realism, as you're suggesting, is that there is no actual standard of sex, that it's completely malleable. There's a word game that goes on when people discuss gender. Because if we are talking about certain characteristics to which we attribute to
Bitch, start tripping, now I'm blue. Mega man, I can't win for losing cause I got too many haters, man. Used to be the paper boy, grew up now I'm mega man. Player 1, player 2, show your ass what players do. Up, down, left, right, hit her with a stronger time.
Masculine or feminine. If you want to say that there's a genetic male with feminine characteristics, we're fine. That's a male with feminine characteristics. Fine, that's fine. I mean, okay. So, you're a man with feminine characteristics. That's cool. Who cares? Okay, but that doesn't make you a woman. In other words, if you're going, what we are now doing is we're playing a semantic game where we say a male with feminine characteristics is a woman. That's nonsense. Or a woman with male characteristics, masculine characteristics, is a man. That's nonsense too. And by the way, it actually ends up misgendering a lot of people who are just butch women or effeminate men. Right? So all of this, so in other words, by trying to separate out gender and sex completely, and then by using terms like male and female or woman and man that are innately connected to sex, what you're
Jesus fucking Christ. In recent years, there's been this super effective campaign to convince young women that sex work is not embarrassing, degrading, and one of the worst things you can ever do for yourself. And unfortunately, it's been very effective. I'm getting thousands of messages from young girls from my previous video who are saying, oh, well, Mia Khalifa is my idol, don't trash my hero. Like, aim higher. You can do better. Somehow these corporations, including OnlyFans, have convinced girls that the only value you have is your body. They have convinced the young generation that recording yourself, getting ran through, and selling it for $5 to a stranger is independence. I would love to hear someone explain to me how that makes you independent from men, how that is not embarrassing, soulless work.
What is the #1 thing holding you back from dating again?
Okay, this is a very simple answer, and I'm about to trigger a lot of females. And if you think this comes off aggressive, I'm most likely talking directly to you. The very simple answer is not we're emotionally unavailable, is not we don't want a relationship or we're into our careers or any of the bullshit we spew. We're tired of you females taking our kids and everything we own after a divorce. All you guys do is spew is, I won't do that to you if we break up. That'll never happen, blah, blah, blah. That's the pre-broken heart bullshit y'all spew. And then after y'all's broken heart sets in, you take our houses, you take our cars, you take our kids, you take our clothes. That's the reason we don't want anything to do with you. We can't get help from y'all. We don't get help from the courts. We don't get help from family courts. We don't get help from lawyers. It's all about money. So we came up with, we're just going to take from what y'all want. You take what we want after, so we're going to take what you want before. We're not going to give you kids. We're not going to give you marriage until you guys stop using our kids as pawns.
He's not wrong. There's a lot of data on this, and there are more single older women than there are single older men. It's not crystal clear why either. But what results is men, as they get older, their stock rises and rises. Sorry, ladies.
I'm fully convinced that a lot of y'all men don't like women, y'all like little girls. Y'all walk around talking about, it's just preference, I just have preferences. Talking about no saggy skin, no cellulite, no stretch marks. Titties need to be all the way up here. Okay, titties tiny and up here. No hair on your body at all. And she needs to be small, cute little voice. Yeah, what you're describing is a prepubescent girl, a child. The problem is y'all don't like women, y'all like children, and it's weird as hell.
Women are not slaves. I don't care what nobody feel like. I don't care. Black women, you are not a slave. You've been a slave for too long, baby. You carry these queens and these kings. Do what you gotta do, okay?
I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you, I got this ring.
Do what you want.
Okay, that's fair. If two drunk people meet and have drunk sex, how do you know who took advantage of who if neither one could offer responsible consent?
It's not consenting on either neither party was able to soberly consent. So therefore,
what happens?
Whatever happens, and that's
unfortunately aren't most sexual encounters happening under drunken conditions. So that's kind of a problem, right?
If you put yourself in a situation where you choose to drink, where you get so drunk, where you hook up with someone and you don't remember anything and then try to accuse it as being rape, that is not right.
That's why you should always have friends around you.
Exactly. You should
People
never
you
do
trust
it
around you.
and always have a DD. Always.
And I agree with that. Some people, accept that responsibility, and some people call that victim blaming. So it just depends on,
Yeah.
I don't agree with that.
Victim blaming is definitely,
You can't really point fingers in that situation.
Yeah.
Okay, but who's typically blamed in that situation?
The man.
Yeah.
Okay, is that fair?
No.
Not really, no.
Okay,
not at all.
so why aren't false accusations taken more seriously when there's plenty of scenarios where it's not necessarily just the man's fault?
I think because society sees men as very masculine over women, so they see always them as taking advantage, but I think that's just another stereotype, another trend that's always seen as like the man being the stronger, dominant.
What
Y'all normalized prostitution. Some of y'all aren't hoes no mo. Y'all are just prostitutes.
I fucking love you. But no, I really want to talk about this. Not just the whole prostitution, but I'm talking about this app specifically. How do you women post thirst traps? Fucking how? Do you forget that half the audience, if not more, on this app is children, minors, and yet you're out here being peer pressured by majority minors to expose yourself to minors? Could you imagine the retaliation if I made a video
Start tripping, now I'm blue. Mega man, I can't win for losing cause I got too many haters, man. Used to be the paper boy, grew up now I'm mega man. Player 1, player 2, show your ass what players do. Up, down, left, right, hit her with a stronger tap.
showing my dick print to a bunch of 14-year-olds, I'd be called a pedophile. But women are out here flashing their tits and bending over in front of a camera to a bunch of 13-year-olds calling it empowering. It is fucking disgusting. Not to mention it encourages young women to do the exact same fucking thing. Like, in what world is this okay and normalized? Like, I don't want to do this no more.
Bro, I'm not gonna cat with you. Them comments was ridiculous. It's just a bunch of single women just talking about how men are all the same and that they're so predictable. But like, if that's so true, how you still get heartbroken by like 5 different dudes if we're all the same? Then we got boys in the comments asking that one question that a lot of women really can't answer, which we all know. What do you have to offer? And then like none of them could answer. They either dodged the question or like completely changed the topic. But then I really thought about it. I was like, yeah, she's right. Guys to girls are becoming less interesting. Do you want to know the reason? Because we're finally starting to realize our worth. I'm not going to lie with you, but I've seen a very good increase of boys not even worrying about girls. Instead, they're worried about getting their money and their future straight. My boys out there nowadays are worried about getting gains. So don't care about these girls because they're not caring about you. They're caring about the attention. Get your future straight, man.
Don't ask her what her body count is. Okay, what's your body count?
7.
Quit capping. Quit capping, bro. What is it for real? What is it for real?
It's only 2. TBH.
2 or 7? Because you said 7, then you said 2.
7 minus 2.
So it's 2, it's 5, or it's 7, bro. What?
All right.
It's 14, bro? I ain't even mad at you, because my body count ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm a slut.
Am I the asshole for telling my extended family how many men, roughly, my sister has slept with after she outed our youngest brother as a virgin? We had a family dinner this evening. My family has 4 kids in total: me, my elder sister, 29F, younger sister, 24F, and youngest brother, 22M. Extended family attended our family dinner. So all of our significant others, our cousins, aunts and uncles etc. During the dinner my elder sister and youngest brother got into a mild disagreement. My sister seemed, at least to me, to be coming across as very aggressive out of frustration and losing said argument. The two of them were too absorbed in their argument to realize the rest of us were getting a bit fed up. Eventually my sister got really fed up and said, "Shut up, I'm not going to argue with a 22-year-old virgin." My brother hadn't done any personal attacks up until that point, it was completely unprovoked. I think it might have been the alcohol as my sister is a mean drunk. Anyway, I immediately told my sister to grow up and that she was making an embarrassment of herself. She replied by saying everyone knows he's a virgin and she didn't say anything wrong. This annoyed me as my bro definitely has confidence issues and doesn't need to be made fun of like this. So I responded by saying how she slept with well over 100 men while she was in college, and that since everyone in the family knows this it's not a big deal, right? Turns out her husband didn't know this. Amazingly, I genuinely assumed he must have known. He left the party angrily saying my sister misled him about her past. Family is blaming me for their marital problems. I refuse to accept I did anything wrong. My sister bullied my brother in front of everyone. All I did was give her a taste of her own medicine.